Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Big Brother Brian Barrett here. You're probably wondering why I'm dressed like this. I just came back from church. Coming up on this next video, shifting alliances, the veto meeting, and more blind sides, all that right now on my new video. After the nomination ceremony, obviously people talk about it and stuff, and Faute, the alliance that Caitlyn is kind of still a part of at this point, is completely convinced that Winston is her main target. They have absolutely no idea that her main target is Swaggy. And Swaggy especially thinks that he's safe and that it's Winston that's going to go home. So now it's time to pick players for the veto. And one thing is for sure, Swaggy cannot be picked to play in the veto. If he wins the veto, the entire plan goes down in flames. Fezzi gets picked, Rachel gets picked, and Tyler gets picked. Thank God it's not Swaggy. But Caitlyn realizes that if Fezzi wins the veto, it won't look good for her because he'll use it to save Scotty, and then she would have to blindside Fezzi by putting up Swaggy. I don't know if that made any sense to you, but it makes sense to me. Long story short, Fezzi cannot win the veto. So now the house guests get a little surprise from Jody from last season. Jody is Jessica and Cody. That's their ship name. They were a huge power couple last year, a huge showmance from last season, and they came in to basically announce their engagement. So they're getting married. Oh, and by the way, they also won the Amazing Race. So now it's time for the power veto competition. I won't get into the whole competition itself, but basically Tyler wins the veto. And Swaggy is so happy that Tyler wins the veto because it means that Winston's going home, right? Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Little does he know that Tyler's going to use the veto so that Swaggy can go up on the block. However, Caitlyn has started to realize that putting Swaggy on the block is going to mean that she's going to lose all of her friends from her old alliance. So now she's having second thoughts about putting Swaggy on the block. So we'll get back to that later. But first, obviously we learned in the last video that Rachel is the least trending house guest, and as a result she will be punished. And her punishment is called yell. And some guy will come in and basically yell all these insults at her for 24 hours. And it was a lot of fun. My favorite one was when he walked into the bedroom and just like woke everybody up. So now Caitlyn has kind of regrouped a little bit and has realized that putting Swaggy on the block is the best decision for her game. So she decides to do a little bit of what I call pre-damage control, which is there's going to be damage, but she's going to handle it before it happens. So she goes and tells all of Faute her plan to put up Swaggy, and obviously they're all pissed off. Rockstar's especially pissed off, and it's kind of funny to see her finally talk after how many days in the house of her being silent this whole time. So obviously none of them are happy about her decision, but it's what's best for her game. So we'll see how that plays out in the power veto meeting, which is happening right now. So now it's time for the veto meeting, and just like we expected, oh, I forgot to mention. So basically, I forgot to mention that Tyler wants to use the veto to save Scotty because he already has Winston on his side, but if they can take Scotty off the block, it will show that they care for Scotty, and maybe Scotty will come to their side so that they'll have the numbers to take out other people in the future. So Tyler uses the veto on Scotty, and Caitlyn is now an emotional wreck because it's now time for that moment that she's been dreading this whole week. She now has to put up Swaggy. So she gets up and she does it. She puts Swaggy up on the block, and the entire Faute alliance is speechless. The veto meeting is adjourned. Everybody leaves with the exception of Faute. They sit there motionless. They cannot believe what just happened, especially Swaggy. He's shocked to the core. He does not know what just happened. Hashtag blindside. So now it's Winston and Swaggy that are on the block right now, and we'll see what happens at the next eviction, which takes place Thursday night, 9/8 Central, live on CBS, hosted by Julie Chen. So tomorrow we'll talk about the eviction, and I've been getting a lot of questions from all my viewers about Big Brother, so we'll answer all those questions in a new segment that I call Question and Answer. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. See you next time.